Hey everybody, and welcome to the last video edition of the BSN Mock Draft 2012 version. I'm Kerry Gibbs. This is our COO, Dan Evans, and tonight we'll be wrapping up and doing the 7th, 8th, and 9th rounds. So, I mean, there's a lot of players left. We'll break down a little bit about each of them, and let's get started. Let's get through this. We'll start with the first pick of the 7th round. We'll go pick 193, Jack Pation. He's a linebacker out of Southern Connecticut State.
Yeah, very productive kid, Kerry. Really athletic, really a good tackler. Like I said, size a little bit of an issue there, but a very good tackler at Southern Connecticut State. Very athletic. Like to see what he can do in the future.
Yep. At 194, we got a showcase athlete. We got Ferdy Velez, center from Valpo.
Yeah, Ferdy was one of the more productive guys on the offensive line at the showcase. Mm-hmm. You know, reason he's sliding all the way down, came in a little light, about 260. I have a Golden Corral bunch that needs to get together, needs a Golden Corral at least once or twice a week and put on about 20 or 30 pounds. But from a technique standpoint and athletic standpoint, he was a solid kid. Our offensive line coach, Mike Bailey, really complimented him as one of the best linemen there.
Yep. Pick 194, we'll go Greg Underwood, safety from Fairmont State.
Yeah, I actually had an opportunity to work out Greg at a junior pro day last year up in Morgantown, and he's runs in the 4.5s, very athletic, good sized body, 200 pounds plus, and definitely a pro prospect.
Yep. Pick 195, we got Jerron Schroeder. He's a running back, also returns kicks from Friends University.
Yeah, he's a Missouri State transfer, very athletic, tested very well, had a number of workouts with pro teams, runs in the 4.4s, very athletic. Was part with the team with Quinn Benning. They ran ran like this jumbo power I with 3 backs, and it was crazy. I mean, what a crazy offense, and he probably would have had more recognition if he would have run in a traditional offense, but very productive kid when he did get the ball.
Yep. Pick 196, we got Justin Andrews. He's a fullback from Abilene Christian.
Yeah, he was very high up on our scouts list. I didn't have as much film on him as I'd like, but I know our partners at Optimum Scouting really liked him.
Pick 197, we got Shane Brzezowski. He's a quarterback from Castleton State College.
Yeah, he's very productive at Castleton, threw for a lot of yards. He's sort of what I call a spot thrower. Sort of his ability to drop the ball in there. Probably in a rebase prospect. He's got a good release. And can really throw the ball in spots, which you really like at that level. But we've got to work on his overall arm strength if you want to go higher.
Yep. And another quarterback here, pick 198, we got Travis Lane, quarterback from Hampden-Sydney College.
Yeah, now he's got a cannon on him. Travis Lane does. I mean, he can really whip the ball around, can throw the ball deep. Has issues sometimes making decisions, but he got better as his career went on. A little bit 5'11", which really holds him back, I think. But once again, if he wanted to play in the arena leagues, he'd be a perfect prospect. Very quick release, can really throw the ball. Got to see him play a couple of times.
Yep. Pick 199, we got Anthony Carter, running back from Bridgewater.
Yeah, he's a Mount Union transfer. A big kid, can really run people over. He comes in 200 pounds plus. Didn't test as well. Ran in the 4.7s, 4.8 range. He's going to need to get that 40 down if he wants to have a shot at playing ball. But overall, on film, plays real well. Can catch out of the backfield. Strong runner.
At pick 200, we got Anthony Mauricio. He's a defensive end out of Lycoming.
Yeah, Lycoming had one of the best defenses at D3. Very productive. Set the record in Lycoming for sacks, tackles for loss. Very intriguing player.
Pick 201, we got Marquise Butler. He's a cornerback out of South Dakota.
Yeah, second team all-conference in South Dakota. Only reason why Marquise really slid, not a great 40, 4.7, 4.8 at the BSN Collegiate Showcase. Really hard to move him up the board without a better 40, but instinctually and his ability to play on the field, he's a good player.
At pick 202, we got Matt Robinette. He's a tight end from Hanover.
Yeah, he's actually currently playing pro ball. I believe in the CIFL, Continental Indoor Football League. Mm-hmm. Good inductor for Hanover. Was very productive from the tight end position. I believe was within the close to top 100 overall, and including receivers and catches. Very productive at his position.
At pick 203, we got Mike Talton. He's a cornerback, also returns kicks from Sterling.
Yeah, Mike can really jump the football. One of the top reception guys in the NAIA, had an interception at the BSN Collegiate Showcase. Once again, it was an issue. 40 was an issue with him, just like Marquise Butler. Talton, also very smaller kid, needs to get the weight up and also needs to drop the 40. He wants to move into the professional ranks, but instinctually can football. Good cover guy.
Yep. At pick 204, we got Jeffrey Morgan, linebacker out of Wesley.
Yeah, Jeff sort of slid down our boards, ran 5 flat, 5'1" at the 40. He's 223, so there's a lot of concerns about really put him on the field. He's an All-American, a BSN All-American. Very productive. Wesley had a good defense team with the Sadu and Chris Mays, but the testing and his weight really moves him down the board as far as a pro prospect. He's got to either do one, just drop the weight or put the weight on. That's really and really work on his speed.
And at pick 205, we got Anthony Bizzotto. He's a safety, also listed as a linebacker out of Fitchburg.
Yeah, he played the middle linebacker position. Won't play that in the level. 225. Once again, he's got to go to the safety position. Can test real well. At times runs in the 4.5, 4.6, probably more in the 4.6 range. Needs to get that 40 down if he wants to play at the safety position. But was very, very active in college.
Yep. At pick 206, we got Matt White, wide receiver from Capital.
Yeah, he was one of the top 10 receivers at Division III level. Can make some big plays for them. I didn't have as many pro day numbers on him twice.
At pick 207, we got Michael Mavro-Michalis, center from Albany State.
Yeah, he's actually already playing in the PIFL. He's a center. He's very pad level can be an issue sometimes with him. But he's overall a good center, good footwork. Really can is a strong presence up front.
At pick 208, we got Corey Dunbar. He's a cornerback from Sterling.
Yeah, he's an interesting prospect. Played both cornerback and wide receiver. Runs in the low 4.4s, 4.5 area. Didn't jump the ball as well as his teammate Michael Talton, but still a very intriguing pro prospect. He played on both sides of the ball, which was also intriguing.
And at pick 209, we got Anthony Roberts. He's a linebacker from Cal, PA.
Yeah, he's another 2011 draft class guy. Had good seasons at Cal, PA. 67 goals range. Pressed really well at the Collegiate Showcase. Included him in our mock draft. He was a Collegiate Showcase participant and played very well, I would say.
And at pick 210, we got Wayne Johnson. He's a cornerback from St. Francis, Illinois.
Yeah, he was a AFCA All-American selection from St. Francis. Two things that sort of had him moving down the board. One was the 40 time. Two was the weight. 140 needs to get a little bit bigger. He wants to play at the pro level, but has very good instincts playing the position.
And at pick 211, we got Jamie Dale. He's a running back from South Dakota School of the Mines.
Yeah, I'll tell you what. If I was a coach, I'd pick Dale to have him on the team because he does all the little things. He can really catch the ball out of the backfield. Might need to move to the slot receiver if he wants aspirations of playing professional football. Was South Dakota Mines all-time leading rusher. Was second in the NAIA. They moved the deep play school a little bit too early than what they really needed to. But Jamie made some big plays at the BSN Collegiate Showcase. He's just a good kid that does a lot of things that you would need on your team. I really like him.
Yeah, he had a really good showing at the showcase. At pick 112, we got DeMontrez Symington. He's a tight end from Greenville College.
Yeah, very athletic, very big kid, very productive from Greenville. I really like him.
Pick 213, we got Wayne Critides. He's a wide receiver from Bentley.
Yeah, Brian Johnson's main guy at Bentley. Can run routes, can make some big plays. Didn't have as many pro day numbers on the play, slid down the board.
Pick 214, we got Ricky Otis. He's a linebacker from the College of Holy Cross.
Yeah, once again, weight's an issue there. Very instinctual, can make some big plays from the linebacker position. Has good lateral movement. Didn't have as many pro day numbers on him as well.
Pick 215, we got Michael Bird. He's a tight end from Winston-Salem State.
Yeah, Michael's a good blocker. Really led that run game with Nick Cooper. Didn't have as much production catching the football, but he's a big kid, almost 270 pounds, playing that tight end position. So he's a pure blocking tight end.
At pick 216, we got Darren Jones. He's a safety from Lincoln.
Yeah, once again, another high tackle guy from Lincoln. Really has good instincts on the field.
Pick 217, we got Anthony Eccles. He's a defensive end, also listed as an outside linebacker from Northern Michigan.
Yeah, Anthony's, he can do both. He's very athletic. He's a strong kid. Very, very impressive strength-wise. Has got some good in his position. Probably is going to have to play that outside linebacker position, in my opinion. And, not as big production in Northern Michigan, sort of why he slid down the board. A little bit shorter, too, as well.
Pick 218, we got Arthur Smith, linebacker from that great Mount Union team.
He's a big, strong kid. I mean, he fits the look test in his pass. There's no question about it. Came in 240, 245, big, strong kid, played 30 repetitions on the bench. Didn't test as well speed-wise. Didn't have huge production in Mount Union, but that's sort of hard considering, Mount Union, they usually play half a game there because they're beating their opponents. But he's a very good middle linebacker. He needed to be in the middle. Like I said, he needs to get the 40 down in his testing down a little bit if he wants to make it in the pro level. But as far as overall, he can make big plays. He picked off a number of passes playing the linebacker position at Mac.
And at pick 219, we got Lamont Simmons, safety, also listed as a linebacker from Northwestern State.
Yeah, he's more safety. He comes in about 200, 210. Very good looking kid. Athletic. Can make plays from inside.
At pick 220, we got Julian Williams. He's a wide receiver from Marion.
Yeah, he helped really spearhead Marion's passing attack. He has the ability to take them deep and has the ability to make passing game. Needs to shore up, consistency with catching the football. That was sort of the weakness that I saw at the collegiate showcase, sort of the reason why he slid down our board a little bit.
Yep. And at pick 221, we got Pete Mattingly, big offensive guard from Butler.
Yeah, he's a big kid, can really get after it. Probably needs to lose about 15 pounds to really be more effective with his footwork. But he is effective in the blocking game, and like I said, he's a big body, over 300 pounds plus. At
pick 222, we got Stanley Warren Huffman. He's a wide receiver, also returns kicks from Campbellsville University.
Yeah, he can really take it deep. He's a good athlete. He's got good size. Didn't have as many pro day numbers on him, and that's why he sort of slid down our board.
At pick 223, we got Nathan Linsenmeyer. He's a guard from Northern Michigan.
Yeah, a big kid. Shows moments of really solid play. Can be inconsistent with his footwork, sort of gets him in trouble a little, but he really fits the mold of a solid offensive lineman.
At pick 224, we got Wes Smith, defensive end and outside linebacker from Gannon.
Yeah, he's a big kid. Really can play that defensive end. A huge production at Gannon during the senior year. Played next to Randy Colling at Gannon, but tested pretty well. Sort of a guy I like to see develop over the next year or so.
And now wrap up round 7 of the mock draft. Let's go ahead and move on to round 8. And with the first pick in there, pick 225, we got Chaz Jordan, cornerback from Mount Union.
Yeah, Chaz can, he's a really good cover guy, good closing speed. Didn't test real well in the 44-6, I believe. Get that down. Very productive for Mount Union in a number of their championship runs. At
pick 226, we got Chris Brickford. He's listed as an outside linebacker, also a defensive end out of Rochester.
Yeah, I really like him on film. Once again, he's got one of those body sizes. You don't know whether he's going to play end or linebacker. He's played both. He's very athletic. Has a lot of tools that he can be successful. Not sure how they all fit. I think the linebacker position is where he's going to need to go in order to play at the next level.
At pick 227, we got Nick Newborn. He's listed as a guard and a center from Shorter.
Yeah, he played more of the guard. Athletic, really one of the top linemen that Shorter's had these past couple of years. Really anchored that group up front.
At pick 228 is a guy that put up gaudy numbers last year, mainly because of that offense, is Courtney Pete, wide receiver from Faulkner.
Yeah, he did put up good numbers. I know he's a transfer athlete. Didn't have as many pro day numbers on him, but like you said, his production at the NAI level was really good.
At pick 229, we got Justin Crozier. He's a defensive tackle out of Bluffton University.
Very athletic, very strong kid with a preseason All-American pick by us. A little small at 265 to be playing the defensive tackle, and I don't know if he's quick enough on the end, but either gain some weight or wait and move around there. But he was very productive as well.
Yep. And at pick 230, we got Brian Fowler, running back from Central Connecticut State.
Yeah, Brian is a very athletic kid. Didn't have as much production, about 8 yards rushing. Central Connecticut State was really down this year. Didn't have the pro day numbers on him that I would like to have seen. Needs to work a little bit more on his speed from what I can see on film to really become a pro player at the level.
At pick 231, we have Sean Rafferty. He's a safety from Bucknell.
Yeah, led that one of the key things next to Bryce Robinson, leading that Bucknell secondary. Good tackler, strong anchor back there.
Pick 232, we got Kendall Owens. He's a running back, also returns punts from Thomas More College.
Yeah, he can really do a lot of it. He can run, he can catch, he can return the kicks, very much like West Chambly. Probably as good as a kick returner, but that's where he's going to need to focus. If you compare him to the West, I don't like ranked a little bit lower because of lack of pro day numbers, but I think he's a very good kick returner and can do a lot of things for him.
And here's another showcase guy. At pick 233, we got Fabian Payne, a running back from West Virginia State.
Yeah, he's got a good body size on him. West Virginia State hasn't had a great on-field production over the last couple of years, but he real well there and performed well at the showcase.
Pick 234, we got Jeff Logan. He's a fullback from Central Connecticut State.
Yeah, led the way for Brian Fowler. Very athletic kid, big kid, 250 plus. Very intrigued by him.
Pick 235, we got Richard Daniel. He's listed as an outside linebacker, also a defensive end from Wayne State College.
Yeah, his size is really the issue there. He can, that's stayed up out in Nebraska. He can really get out. Like I said, does he move to linebacker? If he's 220, does he go from end all the way to safety? That's really a stretch. But if he can get up to 230, 235, he can maybe step back and play that linebacker position.
At pick 230, I'm sorry. At pick 236, we got Tyron Futch, safety from Lane.
Yeah, had a lot of production at Lane, numbers of interceptions, able to really jump the routes and go up after the ball. Didn't test as well. Sort of why he fell down on our draft boards. And
at pick 237, another member of that Marion secondary, we got Eric Shepard, cornerback from Marion.
Yeah, he is, like you said, very productive. Helped spearhead one of the top defenses in the NAIA.
Pick 238, we got Zachary Sheridan, linebacker from Slippery Rock.
Yeah, he's a big kid. Big kid can really play that position. Well, he's got good linebacker. Didn't test it out. That's why he sort of slid down on our board.
Pick 239, we got John Setzer, cornerback from Winston-Salem State.
Yeah, solid player. Didn't see him jump routes as well as I'd like to. Out of the, he jumped a lot of guys that could catch the ball and hit the slant. Didn't have as much production as you'd like from that position from interception standpoint. Sort of the reason why he slid down our board.
Pick 240, we got Ricky Carlson. He's a safety, also returns kicks from Weber International.
Yeah, he's a solid safety. He can definitely return kicks. I don't know if his speed is anywhere in the 4.6 to 4.5 range. Not sure whether he fits in as a kick returner or as a safety.
At pick 241, we got Mike Lane. He's a running back from Endicott.
Yeah, Mike, a little bit shorter. The size sort of helped him with moving down the board, but very productive season. I think he rushed for about 1,300 yards. So our catch on the backfield can do a little bit of everything. Probably a better European-based prospect, but still could play football at the pro level.
Pick 243, we got Josh Montgomery. He's a defensive end out of Louisiana College.
Yeah, he's a big kid. To the pass rusher, not tons of production during his senior year, but he's got a good body size that he can work with.
Pick 244, we got Matt McWilliams, cornerback from Benedictine.
Yeah, he can really jump the football. Very impressive. Made a lot of interceptions. Not sure his foot speed's fine enough to play at the higher levels of professional football, but still a guy with really good football instincts.
Pick 245, we got George Valdivinos. He's a wide receiver from Seton Hill.
Yeah, had over 1,000 yards receiving this past year at Seton Hill, can make big plays. He's a good route runner. Not as athletic. His 40 was needed to improve. Agility and really definitely need to improve for him. But overall, he can make big plays in the passing game, and he's a tough kid.
Pick 246, we got Rashad Miller. He's a safety from Morgan State.
Yeah, Rashad's a big, tall kid. He's like 6'4", solid player, from Morgan State. Didn't have as much film on him as I liked to really move him up the board, and didn't really jump out at me at the showcase from a high production standpoint.
Pick 247, we got Swede Johnson. He's a guard from Mid-American Nazarene.
Yeah, Mid-American had a good year. I know Swede was big part of that. He was a BSN All-American selection by us as well.
Yep. And at pick 248, here's a guy that drove from Kansas to Akron. I think it was like a 14-hour trip to make it to the showcase. We got Adrian Thomas, linebacker from Kansas Wesleyan College.
Yeah, him and Dan Dingsey did that same trip together. Adrian had a solid career at Kansas Wesleyan. Came about 225. Once again, he's another of those guys that needs to put on the weight. Very strong kid. Needs to improve on his testing and his 40 and his agility. But very productive at Kansas Wesleyan.
Yep. Pick 249, we got David Bostic. He's a wide receiver from Edinboro.
David, solid player, can make some big plays in the passing game. More of a possession-style receiver for Edinboro, but very solid player.
Pick 250, we got Corey Cronk, guard from St. Francis, Indiana.
Yeah, he helped really lead the way for Frank Wolf up there. Has good footwork and really get after it up there at St. Francis.
Pick 251, we got Otis Scott, cornerback from West Virginia Wesleyan.
Yeah, I think Otis was a solid player. Very much similar to John Setzer. I didn't really see the jumping of pass routes as I liked to, breaking on the ball. He was a good tackler and had a solid career. He was the first team All-WIBIAC selection as well.
And at pick 252, we got Henry Glacken, offensive tackle from Towson.
Yeah, injury concerns a little bit there. That's why he's moved down the board. Needs to put on about 10 pounds. Very productive for CAA champ Towson. Played for my old coach, Rod Ambrose, up there. And they were one of the top rushing teams in the CAA. And Henry was a big part of that.
Pick 253, we got Martino Montague. He's a strong safety from Bridgewater.
Yeah, he's a good tackle. Played traditional linebacker position at Bridgewater. Was signed to an indoor football league team. They sort of disbanded before the season. Needs to work a little bit more on his agility if he wants to play the strong safety position, which is probably his better position. But overall, tough kid, a kid that really knows how to play the game.
And at pick 254, we got Marcus Price, running back from Worcester State.
Yeah, he had a very productive season. Very much, him and Mike Lane are very similar in their body size and their ability to produce. Once again, in my opinion, more of a European-based prospect, but still very athletic, had a good season at the D3 level.
Pick 255, we got Sam Johnson. He's a linebacker, also listed as a strong safety from Southern Connecticut State.
Yeah, he was productive at the linebacker spot. Came in real light, came in about 200 pounds, which really, you're looking at having to play the strong safety. I don't know if he can make that move back there. That's a great attitude, a great work ethic, and really plays hard. The only question is the size issue there.
And with the last pick in the 8th round, we got a really stout linebacker here. We got pick 256, Isaiah Person, linebacker out of Tuskegee.
Yeah, Isaiah's a good kid. Played real well. I know he played BCU Bowl. Put on, I think, some weight. 260 is probably a little bit too big for him. If he could get down into the 250 range, he'd probably be a little bit more productive and agile, but still a solid middle linebacker from Tuskegee. So
that'll wrap up round 8, and we'll go to the final round, round 9 of the 2012 BSN mock draft. And with the first pick, we'll go pick 257, Shane Hess, offensive tackle out of Edinboro.
Very productive guy from Edinboro. Helped lead one of the offenses at Edinboro. Very productive from that offensive line position.
Pick 258, we got Walton Pearl. He's a center from Benedictine.
Yeah, another kid that had a very outstanding season at Benedictine. I know was one of the top offensive linemen in this conference.
Mm-hmm. At pick 259, we got Wes Edwards. He is a cornerback from Urbana.
Yeah, the reason why he's a little lower on the points than any numbers on him, but he can really jump the football and has really good football instincts. Good tackler too from Urbana.
Mm-hmm. At pick 260, we got Nick Lynch, wide receiver from Mount Ida.
Yeah, Nick's got a big body. He probably has to either become a tight end or really work speed. Ran in the fives, which you really, if you want to play wide receiver, at 220, you can probably get away with being a 4.7 guy. Mm-hmm. But I will say this, he can really catch the ball over the middle, not afraid to go over the middle, and really can go up and get the ball in the corner of the end zone, maybe a good threat. But like I said, he needs to either bulk up and play tight end or slim down, work on his getting to the possibility of playing pro ball at the wide receiver area.
Pick 261, we got Jamont Jones. He's a cornerback from Lenore Rhine.
Yeah, very similar to guys like Wayne Johnson. Needs to put on weight, needs to work on the 40, but overall has good cornerback instinct.
Pick 262 is Tyler Cardwell, safety from Avila.
Yeah, like him, very much like Matt McWilliams, can really jump the ball, can make big plays. Needs to, I think, work on his foot speed and overall speed. Probably more of a European-based product.
Pick 263, Daryl Moore. He's listed as an outside linebacker, also a defensive end from Waynesburg.
Yeah, the weight's an issue there. I've heard he plays end. I've heard he plays tackle. Mm-hmm. Probably can't, definitely cannot do that at the pro level. Would have to play a different position, but still, really got after the quarterback. I watched film on him last year. He was a D3 All-American. Could really get after the quarterback. But when we look at the mock draft here, you got to look at guys and how they transition to the pro game. And right now, I just don't. Unless he were to put on weight or drop weight or change positions, I don't really see a path for him to play the defensive tackle or defensive end position at his current.
And at pick 264, we got Louis Baltazar. He's a linebacker from Lewis and Clark.
Yeah, he's a very productive player from Lewis and Clark. Was an All-American selection by one of the top tacklers. Didn't have as many pros on him twice or twice. Slid down the board.
Pick 265, we got Taylor Dyer, wide receiver from Central Missouri.
Yeah, very much like Jamar Howard. Compliment to him. Can run good routes. Can make big plays. I really like him.
Pick 266, we got Travis Burton, cornerback from Southern Oregon.
Yeah, he's a big kid. I'd like to see probably more of him on film. Didn't have a lot of interceptions. Didn't really jump the ball. He's a very big, athletic.
And at pick 267, we got Jacob Nicolaisen, guard from Dakota State.
Yeah, Jacob Nicolaisen, he's good tester, very good attitude. Will be a good addition to a team. His upper body's good. Has to work a little bit more on his foot speed and agility to really make that transition into pro ball.
Yep. Pick 268, we got Corey Theodore, wide receiver from southeastern Louisiana.
Yeah, 70 yards to make down there. Didn't have as many pro day numbers on him. It's why sort of he slid down, but he's a solid player. Can't really break the big plays, but can do a lot of solid things for him.
Pick 269, we got Brent Donnelly. He's a running back out of Ohio Northern.
Yeah, he was a draft class of 2011 guy. Actually, was an All-American. Put on some weight that I think he probably needs to drop if he wants to go back to playing running back, or else he's going to have to move to the fullback position. Didn't test well with the added weight. Probably should have him ranked where it was, but when he was active, he was very productive. One of the top touchdown rushers from Ohio Northern, and their team went to the NCAA playoffs when he was in the back.
And at pick 270, we got Ray Bierback. He's a safety out of Lycoming.
Yeah, he's the All-American safety from Lycoming. Made a number of big plays for them this year, and Lycoming, like I said, had one of the top defenses in Division III this past season.
Pick 271, we got Robert Sear, wide receiver out of Grinnell College.
Yeah, very productive player from Grinnell. Didn't have as much film on him as I'd like to have had, or some pro day numbers is why he slid down the way he did. But he was very productive from Grinnell.
Pick 272, we got Seth Parker, cornerback from Wittenberg.
Yeah, Seth's a 4.4 speed guy. Tested him also at that junior pro day. Shoulder is an issue with him health-wise. He's a very, doesn't put up a lot of big numbers, but is a very solid and athletic player. Probably needs to put on some weight as well.
Pick 273, we got Matt James, wide receiver from Sterling.
Solid player, needs to work on his speed, but can make some big plays in the passing game.
Pick 274, we got Aaron Roy. He's a guard from Buffalo State.
Yeah, he really led Buffalo State this past year. Is a good team leader. Plays with a lot of heart and a lot of emotion. I really like Aaron play.
Yep. And pick 275, we got Tony Johnson, linebacker from Merrimack.
Yeah, Tony was very productive during his junior year. Not much production during his senior year. Size is an issue there. It's sort of the reason why he slid down the board.
Yep. Now here's a good player at 276, good player from the NAIA level. We got Matt Ritter. He's a wide receiver from really good Carroll College.
Yeah, very productive for Carroll College. Like I said, I didn't have enough pro day numbers on him, or he probably would have moved up higher. But, it was very productive for Carroll this year, as they're always one of the top teams in the NAIA.
Yep. 277, we got Travis McDowell, safety from Central Methodist.
Yeah, another productive guy like McWilliams. Nadal had a lot of tackles this year, can jump the ball, can make big plays. Once again, working on the foot speed, the agility. That's what he's going to do to the next level.
At pick 278, we got Hewitt Tomlin, quarterback from Johns Hopkins.
Yeah, Hewitt is a good player. Put up some gaudy numbers at Johns Hopkins. I'm not sure if he really did the pro day scene. I'm not sure where his commitment level is as far as pro ball. There's a college player that was ineligible to be part of our mock draft. I really liked him. He put up some good numbers. Johns Hopkins did the NCAA playoffs the last couple of years.
Yep. Pick 279, we got Alan Petros, linebacker from Moravian.
Same thing. Very productive defensive end, big sack guy, and the D3 level. How to move the outside linebacker position. Not sure if he's really looking to make the transition to pro ball, possibly a European prospect.
Pick 280, we got Jazz Scott, wide receiver from Henderson State.
Yeah, Jazz can make some big plays in the passing game towards ACL. The Players Classic in Arkansas. Probably another year or so for him to get back on the field, but we thought we'd recognize him through the mock draft.
Pick 281, we got Tom Denny. He's a linebacker from Trinity International.
Yeah, very productive player. Like to see him get a little bit more athletic as far as the lateral movement, and has a tendency not to fill the gaps, but he can makes a lot of tackles. Real hustle-based player. Once again, another European-based prospect, in my opinion.
Pick 282, we got Kyle Warren, safety from Hope College.
Yeah, he was a linebacker, transition guy, a lot of tackles out of Hope. Like I said, not sure if he's really looking to make the transition to pro ball, but he's another European prospect.
Pick 283, we got Randy Lewis, cornerback from Indiana, Pennsylvania.
Yeah, he was a transfer from Youngstown State. He can jump the ball at times. I think he actually played better for Young State than when he transferred. The consistency issue there is sort of why he's moved down on our board.
And at pick 284, we got Deron Hamilton. He's an outside linebacker, also listed as a defensive end from Baldwin Wallace.
Yeah, the reason why he moved so far down on the board was the height. The weight, 200 pounds, defensive end. Where do you move him to? He was an All-American, very accomplished career, lots of sacks. Not terribly explosive. A lot of hustle sacks, and he does have good agility. I just don't know where you see him at 200 pounds at the defensive end position. He's got to either put on the weight or move back and change position.
Yeah, exactly. And at pick 285, we got Scott Pillar, wide receiver from Albright College.
Yeah, Scott's a solid player, good route runner. Was a BSN All-American, had about 1,100 yards receiving up at Albright.
Pick 286, we got Jonathan Pink. He's a running back, and he's also listed as a wide receiver from Center.
Yeah, Center they run the ball very well there. I know Jonathan was a big part of that. Didn't test as well as included Choke. I think he's really enough to get down the speed to transition into the pro game.
Pick 287, we got Kevin Helm, safety, also listed as a linebacker from Bates.
Yeah, a lot of tackles from Kevin. Very productive. The defense, once again, very much like Kyle Warren. Not sure where his goal at level is going to be right now, but we thought we'd recognize him. I believe he was a BSN All-American as well.
Yep. And with our last pick in the 2012 BSN mock draft, we'll go to pick number 288. Oh, he's going to give me trouble in this last pick. Johnny Tavau, I'll say. Defensive tackle from Texas A&M Kingsville.
Yeah, big size body. Production level was the issue. Well, why he's there, but with the size body, I think it's another kid that's worth taking a look at as defensive tackle position.
And that'll wrap up the 2012 BSN mock draft. Dan, why don't you give us a few words on this year's draft class?
Well, I mean, it was very impressive compared to, last year was good. This one's better. Really excited to see what happens draft day, mainly Sunday for a lot of the guys that are on our list, and really on Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday, the days that follow, the NFL agent pick up, see which guys end up going to Canada, which guys can get picked up in the AFL, and then what I like to remind players is, a lot of people are preparing for the NFL-based season right now, where this is just training camp. The reality is the AFL, all the indoor leagues, and even the Canadian League, they're going on a totally different schedule than the NFL is. So, the goal is by this time next year, you should be on a training camp roster or playing somewhere. So if you don't get called on Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, or you get called and you get cut, it's a long process. Keep going, stay mentally tough, and keep chugging your way through the system. I've seen players with less ability go further because they got a good attitude, in the right place at the right time. Keep your profile updated. If you're one of those players that you didn't like maybe where your mock draft ranking was, you need to get a highlight film. Not, in my opinion, if you don't have a film up on our site, especially, but if you don't, are not even findable on YouTube, in 3 to 4 months, the scouts are looking at other people. They don't, they don't have archives of everybody's film. You need to make sure you have your own. You need to get some film. If you don't have film, you need to get to an event like ours and get some so you can then market yourself properly. But I think it's one of the best draft classes. I'm really excited to see where guys end up at the pro level. I'm also really excited to see who are some of the guys we were right on and who did we make mistakes on that rose up, because in the end of BSN we want all athletes to reach their maximum potential that they can and at the professional level, and do it the right way. So that's it, Kerry. You got anything?
No, it's, like you said, it's going to be interesting in a couple of weeks, see where some of these players actually land, and I'll be right there by the TV watching it. So, hey, this has been fun, Dan, these past, few videos. So, I'm looking forward to next year's draft class already. So, why don't you go ahead and get started on that? I'm sure you have a ton of video to watch already.
Great, yep. Getting ready actually for the preseason All-American selections that will come out in June or July, and we'll start all over again.
Yep, all over again. Well, like I said, I'm Kerry Gibbs. That's Dan Evans, and it's been fun, going through this draft with you guys. We'll catch you later.